How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. We're going to be talking about the new Jerry Seinfeld movie, Unfrosted. This tells the story of business rivals Kellogg's and Post in 1963 trying to compete to create a cake that would change breakfast forever. Now, I went into this movie knowing very little. I knew that it had to do with Pop-Tarts. I just wasn't sure what the tone of this movie was going to be. Didn't watch any trailers, to be honest. And these product-based movies came out like hotcakes last year. We had the Hot Cheetos one, we had the Blackberry one, we had the Beanie Baby one. I'm pretty sure there are a couple more that I'm forgetting, but they were just coming out like hotcakes last year. So I was surprised that this movie didn't come out last year because I think it would have fit right there. And I didn't even know that Jerry Seinfeld was the writer and director for this movie. And when it comes down to comedians starring in comedies, the track record so far hasn't really been the best, to say the least. We had Joe Coy, who did Easter Sunday. Didn't watch that movie. Heard that it wasn't great. Decided to skip on it. But I did watch the Sebastian Maniscalco movie about my father with Robert De Niro, and the Brett Kreischer movie, The Machine, last year with Mark Hamill. And both of those movies were not good. I did not like those movies. They're not for me. But now we have Jerry Seinfeld starring in a movie for the first time since his masterpiece B movie. And while this movie kind of didn't do it for me, this movie felt like a sketch that was going on forever, and it was not making me laugh. You have a really stacked cast, especially a couple of surprises that pop up in here. You have Jerry Seinfeld, of course, as the lead, but you also have Melissa McCarthy, Amy Schumer, Jim Gaffigan, Hugh Grant. You have a really stacked cast in here, and boy, do they try their very best with everything that they are given, because they are not given enough to even latch on to. And it really comes down to Jerry Seinfeld, because I am not the biggest fan of Jerry Seinfeld. To be honest, I've never seen Seinfeld. I've just seen B movie, and I've seen a couple of things from comedians in cars. But this movie was not funny, even though it was treated as a satire. It kind of felt like a parody. There are a lot of quirky sensibilities in this movie, but they tried to jam pack a lot in here. And I think it's because I didn't know what the tone of this movie was going to be. I didn't think that it was going to be a satire, almost leaning into parody territory, because that is what it kind of felt like. But everybody is trying their very best with the material that they are handed, and just nobody in this movie is funny. It's quirky, and at the same time, it just didn't work for me. But this movie was just unbearable. From the moment the movie begins, you know what kind of tone you're going to be expecting throughout the entire movie. I just didn't expect it to be pushed that far and have such random things happen in here that it just didn't work for me. Even though this movie is my perfect time, it's only about 98 minutes, but it feels like it's going on forever, and it feels like it's never ending. And at some point, you just have to cut bait. And I tried so hard to turn it off, but it kind of felt like a car wreck that you couldn't turn your attention away from. And it's awkward, and I'm pretty sure that they were trying to go for that kind of humor. It just did not work for me. This movie was boring. It was unfunny. Didn't care about the characters. Everybody feels like they're overacting. It had a lot of potential to be different from what we had already expected, from the founder to Blackberry to Flamin' Hot to the Beanie Baby movie, but it just didn't really work on those levels, and it left me wanting more, but at the same time it made me want less. But overall, I'm going to go ahead and give Unfrosted a 1 out of 10. A for effort. It just did not work for me. I get what they were trying to go for. The humor in here wasn't for me, and it just fell flat for me. But those are my thoughts on Unfrosted. Have you guys checked it out, or are you planning on checking it out? Are you one of the brave souls that decided to just skip it all? Go ahead and drop your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys for the next review.